Okay, so let us understand what were the consequences of the shock therapy. See, if I'll explain you a summary or in general language, everything that worst could take place during that transition period happened during this shock therapy or can be the consequences of shock therapy. See, it brought ruins to the economy, मतलब economy पूरी damage हो गई थी, and disaster upon the people of entire region. It means economically the whole transition period brought disaster to the people and the entire region who were into the phase of transition. What happened in Russia? A large state controlled industries complex almost collapsed. There was a large garage sale in history as valuable industries were undervalued and sold at throwaway prices. Now see, the countries were shifting from socialist to capitalist. Capitalism में क्या होता है, इंडिविजुअल ओनरशिप होती है. तो रशिया में बेसिकली क्या हुआ, all the industries and all the complexes which were under the control of state, उसको लिटरली थ्रो अवे प्राइजेस में एंड अ वेरी मिनिमल प्राइजेस में उन्हें बेच दिया गया. एंड इट इज़ ऑल्सो कॉल दैट देयर वॉज अ लार्जेस्ट गैरेज सेल इन हिस्ट्री. ओके, सो व्हाट हैपन, जितना भी पैसा इंडस्ट्री से आना था या कॉम्प्लेक्सेस से आना था उसको बहुत ही मिनिमल रेट में इंडिविजुअल ओनर्स ने परचेज कर लिया. The value of the ruble, the Russian currency, declined. People lost all their savings due to high rate of inflation. महंगाई बहुत हो गई थी and people were actually losing out a lot of savings. The collective farm system disintegrated and people were left without food security. Russia started to import food. अब collective farm system था नहीं, individual लोगों ने उसे खरीद लिया था. So there was a lot of food insecurity in Russia and बाहर से food मंगवाने लग गए थे. The old trading structure broke down with no alternative in its place. तो पुराना जो system था जिससे trading होती थी या government का intervention majorly था, that was basically broken and people could not see any alternative. उनको कुछ alternative नहीं दिख रहा था. The withdrawal of government subsidies pushed large section of the people into poverty. See, earlier in the USSR system, government was providing a large scale subsidies on education, welfare, child care. Now these subsidies were not there because the system was capitalist. Okay, so large section of people were going in poverty. The academic and intellectual manpower disintegrated or migrated. जितने भी intellectuals थे, academicians थे, उन्होंने either they were moving or they were disintegrating or they were migrating to other countries. A mafia emerged in most of these countries, started controlling many economic activities. So किसी states में क्या होने लगा था, माफिया राज आ गया था. A certain individual were coming and they were controlling everything. Privatization led to new disparities between the rich and the poor. Construction of democratic institutions was not given priority as the demands of the economic transformation. Okay, now construction of, yes, okay, and also this privatization, this led to the new disparities between the rich and the poor because अब government की subsidies नहीं आ रही थी. Also private owners were there, so inflation rate was too high, so there was a big gap between the rich and the poor. Construction of democratic institution was not given priority as the demand of economic transformation. See, in order to develop all the USSR country which got disintegrated and independent, they thought the US model is best. Okay, but US was not just about capitalism, it was also about democratic. So in the two ideologies, economic ideology was given more importance in order to develop fast. So democratic constitutions of these countries were prepared in a haste and therefore included many defects. Since उन countries में democracy को ज़्यादा importance नहीं दिया, privatization and capitalism को ज़्यादा importance दिया, so जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन फॉर्म भी हुए उन रिपब्लिक्स में वो इतने अच्छे नहीं थे बिकॉज वो बहुत जल्दबाजी में बने थे एंड दे डिड नॉट हैड अ वेरी गुड इफेक्ट. ओके, also if you look into the Central Asia, the president had powers and some of them became authoritarian. See, पॉलिटिकल सिस्टम पे ध्यान नहीं दिया गया था ज़्यादा, इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम पे ध्यान दिया गया था. कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बहुत जल्दी में बने. सेंट्रल एशिया में काफ़ी जगह पे प्रेसिडेंट ने whosoever was the president, he had his own power and he became authoritarian. So political sense में तो system वैसा ही रहा. Example, the president of Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan appointed themselves to power first for 10 years and then for another 10 years, basically total 20 years. They allowed no dissent or opposition. So political sphere में same वैसा ही हुआ जैसा USSR में previously हो रहा था, plus जो शिफ्ट था वो इकोनॉमिक सेंस में हुआ, जिसने इन ऑर्डर वर्स्ट ही किया उन इकोनॉमिक्स को, बिकॉज द ट्रांजिशन सिस्टम वॉज नॉट गुड फॉर देम. Now, since so many things were getting worse day by day, even after they got independence, so where did the wave of change came from? So most of the second world economies, especially Russia, started reviving. In 2000, 10 years after their independence, they got independence in 1991. बट चेंज कहाँ से शुरू हुआ? चेंज फॉर बेटरमेंट शुरू हुआ 2000 से. धीरे धीरे अब सेकेंड वर्ल्ड की जितनी भी कंट्रीज थी जिन्होंने इंडिपेंडेंस ले लिया था वो रिवाइव करने लगी थी, दैट इज़ ग्रो करने लगी थी. व्हाट वाज द रीज़न? अब वो ग्रो कैसे करने लगी थी? सी, सेंट्रल एशिया की जितने भी कंट्रीज़ थे या और जितने भी दूसरे कंट्रीज थे जिन्होंने इंडिपेंडेंस लिया था, वहाँ पे नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज बहुत ज़्यादा थे, लाइक ऑयल, नेचुरल गैस, मिनरल्स. सो दे स्टार्टेड एक्सपोर्टिंग देम. सो व्हेन यू आर एक्सपोर्टिंग समथिंग यू विल ऑब्वियसली हैव प्रॉफिट्स. सो दिस लेड टू द रिवाइवल ऑफ their economies. One thing is that, okay. Other thing is that the countries who are not having oil, natural gas or minerals, वहाँ पे क्या हो रहा था? Now major oil and gas producers were Azerbaijan, okay, Kazakhstan, Russia, Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan. ये तो major countries थे जो natural gases and oil, minerals को export कर रहे थे. Now the other countries जिन्होंने फ्रीडम ली थी उनके पास पैसे कहाँ से आ रहे थे? सो द अदर कंट्रीज gained because of the oil pipeline and oil pipelines that cross their territories from which they get rent. See, these countries were having exports of natural gases, minerals, okay, oil. The other countries जहाँ से पाइपलाइन जा रही थी, अब जिस कंट्री से भी पाइपलाइन जा रही है उसको रेंट मिलता था वहाँ से पाइपलाइन भेजने के लिए. सो दीज द अदर रिमेनिंग कंट्रीज, अपार्ट फ्रॉम दीज कंट्रीज, द अदर रिमेनिंग कंट्रीज हु गॉट फ्रीडम फ्रॉम USSR, उनको रिवेन्यूज आने लग गए थे बिकॉज ऑफ दिस पाइपलाइंस. ओके, some amount of manufacture started. Now slowly and steadily from 2000 some kind of manufacture also started. Initially वो सब चीज़ बाहर से import ही कर रहे थे and they were taking it from the west. Okay. Now in other class I will tell you what all the tensions and conflict after the disintegration of USSR emerged.